Samuel L. Jackson, and Bruce Willis. That's the lineup, and if you've forgotten all that, don't forget our 24-hour show info number, 365-7900, or just Google us and ask for Capitol Cinemas, Princeton, Kentucky.
Since 1978, Perry's Floors & More has been selling, installing, and servicing homeowners throughout Western Kentucky with quality flooring and workmanship. Perry's Floors & More carries luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile, carpet, window treatments, and more. Brands like Mannington, Shaw, Tarkett, Bohue, and Flexitech. Quality brands, excellent customer service, combined with 40 years experience is why they say you can walk on our reputation. See Bill and Lucy at Perry's Floors & More, 127 West Market Street, Princeton.
1580, 103.3 WPKY. Good morning. Time is 8:28. We are joined, well, it's 10 right now. Let me get that out of the way. Still so cold. We're joined this morning by Reverend Shannon Blosser from Ogden Memorial United Methodist Church. I'll get it all out.
It's a big name.
It's a big name. It is. I have all these titles that I'm supposed to get out of my mouth, and I have them in my head, and they just somehow, the filter doesn't work.
Well, it's early and it's cold.
Right. Thank you very much. Okay, good morning, and thank you for coming this morning.
It's a pleasure to be here. Pleasure to get out on a cold day that would make the Eskimos cry.
I know, right? I know. I told my husband last night, so he was talking about wind chills in up north, like -20, -30. I'm like, we're not in Alaska. What the heck? This is crazy. No.
Though I keep joking, saying it's someone's good golf score.
Yeah. Yes.
Not mine, but someone else's.
Okay, so enough talk about the weather. It's supposed to get nice this weekend, and you've got something going on this weekend that I'd like to talk about.
Yeah, we're in the United Methodist Church. One of the things that we love to do is honor our scouts, and so this Sunday is our Scouting Sunday. It's a day that we set aside to take some time out in the worship service to honor our scouting ministry with Troop 87. They have been part of our church for decades, and so it's an important ministry for us, important outreach for the community. And so on Sunday, we'll honor them. They'll have a part of the worship service. They will bring in the flags. They'll participate. They'll lead us in the Scout Oath. One of the scouts will read the scripture passages for Sunday, and we'll also collect a scholarship offering that will go to support the scouts. So it's a great way for us to come alongside them. The United Methodist Church nationwide is one of the largest sponsors of scouting ministries and scouting organizations. So typically the first or second Sunday in February is Scout Sunday. And so this is something that will be taking place in churches all across the United States and around the world throughout the month of February. So it's a pretty cool thing.
And this Sunday just happens to be the one you chose.
Yeah, typically it's the second Sunday of February, but we chose the first Sunday just for scheduling reasons for us. But usually the second Sunday of February, unless it conflicts with Lent, is Scout Sunday. So everyone pretty much at some point this month across the Methodist Church will honor their scouts. We have a great scout troop with Troop 87. 3 of them will earn the rank of Eagle Scout this year. One of them has already earned it. 2 of them are working towards it. So it's just a great way to celebrate them and their achievements and what they're doing within our community.
And so it's just a special ceremony during the service. It actually takes place during the service.
Yeah, it'll take place during the first part of the worship service, and then they will have aspects throughout the day. I know one of them will read scripture, and then after worship, they will be kind of stationed at our doors. You can't miss them. And they will collect a scholarship. It's the George Bub Harrelson Scholarship Fund that goes back to support them and their efforts. So it's just a great way to celebrate them, to encourage them, but also to recognize what they do for scouts and to increase leadership, increase development. My grandfather was a scout leader. My uncle was an Eagle Scout. I unfortunately didn't do well in Scouts, but always have valued them and their love for the community. So,
you didn't do well in Scouts. What does that mean?
It means that my brother got into a fight in Scouts. I think we tried Scouts. My church back home had a scouting ministry, and he and one other person got into a fight, and my mom said, "You both are not going back."
Oh, no.
And I was more of the athlete. My brother was just kind of like, well, whatever. So I say athlete. I failed at every sport I tried. But,
Oh, no.
Mom said if you're just going to go to the church and have a fight, you're not allowed back. So,
Okay.
yeah, that was Mom's decision.
Well,
We didn't fight it.
I was going to say, I can't say I blame Mom. I probably would have made that same decision.
Yeah.
Now, if let's say we want to come to the service, you said everybody's welcome,
Yep,
even if we're
10 a.m.
not a Methodist, even if we're not part
Yeah,
of
we
your
don't
church.
care. We just want to see you.
Okay. Let's say, I've got something going on at my church this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and I've got to go to my church, but I still want to, help support the Scouts. You said after the service.
Yeah, there'll be there's a scholarship. You can always donate to it. You can call us at the office, 270-365-3528, and we can help you with that. The Scouts meet on Mondays at 6:30, and so they would love to see have you come and be a part of that. We're blessed now that we have a Cub Scout troop that's starting up in our community. They are meeting on the first and third Thursdays. I believe that's about at 6 o'clock. And so that's been a new thing that is starting for our elementary and primary school children to get that started. So it's just the great things that are going on to just partner with our community.
Okay, so two things. First of all, where do they meet?
They meet at Ogden.
Okay,
so
at the church.
both
Okay.
meet at Ogden at in our Baker Hall, which is our fellowship room.
Okay, and secondly, what are the ages for Scouts and ages for
Scouts are usually middle school, high school. I believe it's 6th grade and up, and then Cub Scouts is usually 1st grade, 2nd grade, up to about 4th and 5th grade.
Okay, all right. And you said right now you have 3, or you have 3 that are being promoted.
Yeah.
How many Scouts are
I think
there?
there's. I think last count I saw was about 4 or 5 Scouts that are coming in. 5. I think 5 is on the roster. 3 of them are working towards their Eagle Scouts. So one of them just got it in the fall. 2 of them are going to have it sometime this winter, early spring. So just a great achievements. That's a lifetime goal there and a lifetime process. So I was hoping to have one of them here, but school, weather, but we understand those things and would make the same call myself. But it's just going to be a great day to celebrate them and looking forward to participating with them in their Eagle achievements.
Okay, so we have Cub Scouts, which are the little guys. Then we have Scouts. And then Eagle Scouts is the next.
Eagle Scouts
step
is
up.
your last is like your last rank for the Scouts. And so it is like the grand achievement, one of the highest honors you can receive. To get the Eagle Scout, you would have had to go through years of process, years of rank achievement. But it is a grand accomplishment. So it says that you are a strong leader, that you have developed as a person. It says that you are taking care of your community and your environment and the people around you. And so to get that rank is an honor and just a blessing. My uncle has it, and I know how much it has meant to him to have that. And it put him into a life into the military and things of that sort. So that's a blessing to have. That's something that can never be taken away from you. And you are always going to be known as an Eagle Scout. And so that is a blessing.
And you've got 3 guys going up for that.
3 that will achieve it at some point this year. One, like I said, one's already got it. I think Cole Sherrill, and then Josh Sherrill and Colin Schaefer are the other 2 that are working towards it, and I know that they will get there.
Awesome.
And so I look forward to celebrating with them on that.
Awesome. Okay, before you go today, Shannon, there was one other thing that I wanted to touch on.
I really don't want to go back into the cold.
Yeah, okay. so you can hang around and talk to Dave with me then. Okay, so you, I'm sorry, there was something in my eye that's driving me crazy. It's distracting me really big.
You're all right.
You saw when we talked was it yesterday or the day before? Whenever we talked,
sometime this week, yeah.
you were like, "Okay, I can do that real quick," but then I'm leaving.
Yes.
Talk to me about this mission trip to Israel.
Yeah. It's going to be a great experience. We're leaving Monday morning, 9 a.m. Heading out to Nashville. We'll fly to. The majority of us are going to fly from Nashville to Newark, and then we will land in Tel Aviv sometime Tuesday morning, our time here. Be Tuesday afternoon, about 4:30. We'll land in Tel Aviv. It's a 10-day trip, about 7 days of touring The rest of it is in travel. We will see all the sites mostly in the Holy Land. We'll spend time in Jerusalem, Bethlehem, Nazareth, Capernaum. We'll go up towards the Mediterranean Sea. We'll go up in the Golan Heights. Will be my second time, and first time taking a group of 21. So this will be a great experience. Just looking forward to it. One of the things I'm blessed by, it's not just Ogden. We've got folks from First Princeton Baptist Church. We've got folks from Northside, Christ Tabernacle, Katie's United Methodist. So it's really a community experience that's going to be part of this. So for a lot of them, it's their first time in Israel. Some of them are making a multiple return. But it's the fifth gospel. It's your eyes are open. I remember when I went, the first time you stepped on a road, our tour guide, his name was Jimmy, and he said, "You're now walking where Jesus walked." And you're just like, okay, I'm good. Your jet lag's gone. You're just in awe the rest of the time. So it's going to be a fun experience.
And so you said this is your second one. Now, this is, I've never been either. I know a lot of people who go. And usually it's a pretty hefty price tag to get there. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and talk about it, because, obviously it's too late to go now, but maybe by next year. Yeah,
the group that we're using is called Educational Opportunities, and they go year-round. I like to go in the winter because it's not as crowded, but also the temperatures are nice. Like today it's really cold. We're looking at 50s and 60s throughout our time in Jerusalem and throughout Israel, so a nice warming change. But the cost depends on where you leave from. That airline tickets will always dictate prices, but it's about a $3,000 trip, and that includes your hotel, they include your airlines, your breakfast, your lunch. Breakfast and dinner. It includes all the entry fees to get into the sites and some of the museums. Includes your bus driver, your tour guide, your tour host. It includes all your administrative costs, and so it's an all-encompassing trip. So it's a really good price for what you get out of it, and it's just a lifetime experiences. So I don't know when we will do it again, but I know Educational Opportunities does that year-round, and so you can always look up them, and they're a great organization. Our conference and the Kentucky Annual Conference, we partner with them. Just have a great relationship with their people, and have been blessed to work with them.
I know sometimes some of the churches will offer like a scholarship or something for somebody who really, really feels they need to go and just cannot come up with it. Do you have any of that at Ogden? Or
we didn't. What we were able to do, we didn't have like a specific scholarship, but there are some things that I can do through EO, which are called basically tour host points. And so we were able to utilize some of those points to help out some people for them to cover their costs. And then we're covering the cost of one person to come. And we're basically taking off points that I've earned as a tour host and give it to them. And so kind of spread the wealth that way. So that's kind of how we were able to help out some people with this trip.
Well, that's good. That's good that you had that opportunity.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people... excuse me, when they do this, it's a once in a lifetime thing. Mm-hmm. $3,000 is a lot of money. But I think for anyone who does that, it is I really feel like I need to get closer to Jesus kind of thing.
Yeah, it's when I went the first time, I was just like, okay, it's a check the box thing. But then when I left, I was like, I really want to be able to take my churches here, because it's such an eye-opening experience. Not just that you see the place where Jesus was born and the place where he was crucified, and you get to ride the boat on the Sea of Galilee. Yeah, those things are nice and great, but it's just the other things that you get to do on top of the tour that really make it. We had the opportunity to have dinner. I don't know if we'll have the opportunity this time, but I know my last tour we had an opportunity to have dinner with a Palestinian Christian family, and to have dinner in someone else's home, and to eat their food, and to hear from them what that conflict is really like, to live in Palestine in the West Bank as a Christian. And you hear it always from the news media side, but to hear it from the people who are actually there, and to hear their struggles, and to hear how hard it is for them to make ends meet. I remember the family that we met. They're carpenters, and he was talking about how he can make $50 in Bethlehem, but if he lived in Jerusalem, he makes $150, but he's not allowed to work there. simply because he's from Palestine. And so those are things that gives you a different context and a different understanding. And so it broadens your perspective on the issues that we face. And so you get your eyes are open to new things and new cultures and new identities. So as I'll tell the folks on the trip, eat the falafel, eat the hummus, meet people, share life, but have your eyes open, because this is a chance that you may never get again.
You know, and it is not on my bucket list to do that, and for a plethora of reasons, but I think the main reason for me, you know, just sitting here talking about it, I think for me, it would be too emotional. So I can't even read the stories about, you know, Jesus' crucifixion, Jesus, without getting overly emotional. So I don't read them. I know them. I know what happened. I've read what happened. Don't need to keep reminding myself. So I don't think I could handle that. I think I would, you know, you'd have to come find me in the Israeli hospital somewhere, because
well, they almost had to find me there, but that was for a different reason. But for me, you know...
Well, no, we got to hear that story.
And I'll get there.
Okay.
But I hear you about the emotion. I remember you're basically drinking out of a fire hydrant the entire time you're there. And so it doesn't really hit you in some ways till you leave. But I remember the one place that really hit me was at the Church of All Nations, and that's in the Garden of Gethsemane. And you walk in, and the church is a little dark. You know, we pastors, we love to do those things with the acoustics and the lighting. But you walk in, it's a little dark, but in the middle at the altar is a rock. And you get to pray there. And I'm just praying there, and I'm praying about some struggles I was having at the time, and I was going up for ordination in a few months, and I'm just praying there, and I just lost it. And I lose it some, but I lost it there. But as far as the hospital, I had a stress fracture on the trip the last time we went. So I'm told that I have to dress myself in bubble wrap on this trip so that I don't get hurt again. Everyone on the trip has pretty much said I must be in bubble wrap.
Now, how did you do that?
I stepped off the bus. I kid you not. See,
that is so me.
I am the king of klutzes. I have no problems admitting that. I have even fallen at the church. But I stepped off the bus. I heard a pop, thought nothing of it. The next day, it started to get swollen, and I'm walking.
What did you break?
It was my right foot. It was a stress fracture.
Okay.
And I'm stubborn. And so the hospitality folks, we'll take you to the pharmacy and get you a bandage. I walked to the pharmacy. It was a mile walk back and forth. I was fine, got better by Sunday. And then the next day we went to the Dead Sea, and I fell into the water 3 times. Just trying to get my balance, and then just...
I'm sorry.
No, I laugh. You have to laugh. And then the next morning, my foot was so big, I couldn't get my shoe in.
Oh, yeah.
And my bishop, I love him to death. We went into the Garden Tomb, which is one of the 2 sites where we believe Jesus was buried and rose from the grave. He had actually helped me in to the tomb, and he's just looking at me going, "Really?" And I'm like, "Thank you, sir." So we're going to hope that no injuries, no disabled lists. I come back with all 21 people healthy and with a life-changing experience, but with me in bubble wrap.
Yeah. You stocked up on the bubble wrap, huh? And, you know, so you talked about the rock at the garden. And I think I would probably be about the same way. I think what would probably get me the most, because the one story that I can't read is the crucifixion story. So I think when we would hit that spot, that would probably get me.
What the blessings about that site is that you climb up at the Holy Sepulchre to get up to the spot, and it's underneath an altar table where you can put your hand on a rock. And there's so many people that are in line that you get about a minute to really stay at the altar. So you're moved quick, but then you go into another long line to get into the tomb that's inside the Holy Sepulchre. So you don't stay there long, so that kind of helps you to kind of see it and then reflect later.
Do they have crucifixes set up?
There's some crucifixes that are set up on the wall. There's not on the rock. But with a lot of the churches that are in Jerusalem itself, they are split between 3 denominations. So you have the Roman Catholic, the Greeks, and then some other Orthodox within that. So sometimes they are set up into 3 altar rails. I know the Church of Nativity has that. And so you walk in, it's like, okay, here's the this altar and here's that altar. But in some of those sites, you're really moving. They're trying to just move the line because the lines are so compacted and people want to see these things and bless their hearts for it. And so we're looking forward to an amazing experience. We'll be sharing a lot on Facebook Live. We'll be doing Facebook Lives every day while we're there, and we're going to be preaching from Israel on February the 10th. We're going to be broadcasting that live back to the church, hopefully live. But we have some backup plans for sermons from Israel for that to work. So it's just we're going to keep people informed where we are, where we're going, and let people experience it for themselves, even if they're not there.
That's awesome. Shannon, we're going to have you back when you get back from your trip. I know you've got another thing to do.
It's February. If you see me, it's a miracle.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. We can wait till April if we have to. But
that's fine.
I'd like to talk about how. Yeah. We'll wait till you get off your crutches.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and put some mods on that. We'll take, don't listen to this district superintendent, but we'll put some betting lines and put it towards a scholarship or something.
Oh, no, right. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you. Y'all stay warm.
Yeah.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Slick roads, cloudy skies, a high of 12 and no